Look, I don't know all of you need to hear this, but I'm gonna go for it. Now, you can do a million things, you can live a million lives, you can complete a million tasks, but you've got to recognise something. And it's alright to feel doubtful, it's alright to go through some harsh times or some harsh moments and think, is this right? Am I going down the right path? But whatever you choose, whatever you do, however you move forward, there will always be some kind of consequence. Now, it might be a consequence that's not supposed to be there. It might be a consequence which is forced upon you. Something you didn't expect, or something that necessarily shouldn't be there. But the consequences, they'll exist. It might be obvious. It might be so obvious. But sometimes it might be so extraordinary that even the smartest person on the planet wouldn't even notice that. So remember, whatever you do, there will always be consequences. And that's what I'm going to go over. Whether you go into any industry, maybe it's acting, or maybe something to do with manufacturing, or medicine, or something else, there will always be risk factors. And that's just one of the many types of possible consequences. A risk factor tends to be something more obvious, something that could happen, something you know could happen. But a consequence can be things that you know could happen. It could also be things that you didn't know could happen. A consequence could be, for example, maybe you're into athletics or something. Maybe you're a sprinter, and you're gonna do, I don't know, a 200-meter sprint. Just a random example. The consequences of it, maybe you didn't drink enough water before, and maybe you can't run the whole sprint to your whole in best capacity. Or maybe the consequence might be you might trip somewhere because maybe there's a rock or a stone or something on your track. But you put yourself there in that position, and you got the consequence for it. Now, it may have been that you tripped on a rock because you were dehydrated, or it may have been because you just didn't notice it for some reason. But it was something to do with your vision or your coordination or something else, and you just didn't pick it up. But whenever you choose, whatever you do, there'll always be consequences. So don't expect to get the easy route out. Don't expect to be able to take one path and expect everything just to be a ride, like nothing's ever going to happen. Because there'll always be something in your way, whether you recognise it or not. You might just get past it like a breeze, but there'll always be something in the way. There'll always be some kind of consequence. Now, maybe it's something to do with your occupation. Maybe you change occupations, and you might have to travel to another country for that. And if you do that, you might be leaving some things behind. Pardon me. Some things you didn't necessarily want to leave behind. Or maybe if it's occupation again, maybe it's the kind of thing by switching occupations, you to drop out a job you enjoyed. But if you're in a harsh financial situation, you might have to do that. So the consequence would be losing a job that you actually enjoyed. And in that circumstance, would it be better to try and do something else in the spare time while doing the job you actually love, or maybe studying something else, or whatever? But there's loads and loads of different options, and there's always consequences. Some of them are quite a breeze, some of them are alright. Some of them get tougher, and some of them are absolutely horrible. But as long as you have the right mindset, as long as you keep going, you can get through them. You can get past them. And look, we all have them. I've had them. Every single person who watches this video, I bet you they've had hardships. And maybe it's not what they exactly expected. But they had hardships. And everyone has them, even if they're not obvious. I mean, no one relates it, but love. Love is a clear example of that. Maybe you invest too much into a relationship, or maybe too little. Or maybe something's just not quite right. And sometimes because of that, you get consequences. Not everything's going to be perfect. Not everything's just going to work out. But you've got to be aware of that, and you've got to keep your eyes open. So remember that. Whatever you do, remember that. Not everything's a breeze, not everything's going to be perfect. But there's always a chance for some kind of consequence. And at the same time, there'll always be a reward from it as well. For all that hard work, for getting past that consequence, there will always be a greater outcome. Just remember that. Just remember that.